there, fellow adventurers. I didn't hear you come in. You're in luck. I was just about to head out and obtain a new mythic item, Sithis Gaze. As always, we'll be leaving timestamps in the description down below if you need to revisit any of the areas that we go to. Now, where's Rose? I know she's going to be excited about this one.
Are you serious?
Whoa.
I'm right here, you twit. And when have I ever been excited to going on one of your adventures?
My bad. You look different. I didn't recognize you without all the knots in your head.
Robert, seriously, you really need to work on your interpersonal communication skills. What on earth is going to get me excited about an adventure with you?
Well, this adventure does have us going to the sanctuary.
You don't mean...
Oh, yeah.
Finally, the Brotherhood. I'll get my gear, my best manhunting gear. Don't disappoint me this time.
While we wait on Rose, I'd go ahead and tell you about our first lead.
Alright, I'm ready, let's go.
I'd say so. That was quick. Anyway, our first lead is going to be located all the way in Shadowfen. You'll want to make your way on over to a delve called the Oncobra Quama Mine. It's located on the lower right hand side of the map, right over here. And this is where we're going to pick up the lead for the pads to Shark Teeth.
This doesn't look like the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary, Robert. It just looks like a rundown Quama Mine.
Don't worry, Rose, we'll be there soon enough. But we need to make it to the back of this delve so we can take the boss out. He's located right about here on the map. Once you've taken down the big bad and double tapped it for safety, you're free to scavenge it for the lead. When you finally do get hold of it, you'll be ready to get on to the next one. This next lead is located all the way in Deshawn inside the Forgotten Crypt. This is where we're going to grind through the hordes of the undead for the Niss'wo Sacramental wraps.
So let me guess, we just need to do the usual, which would be killing any of the bosses until the lead drops. Am I right?
That's right, there's actually 5 of them in here. One of them being a group event boss. They are the Forgotten Sheriff, Faerun Telvanni, Timothy the Sharp, the Silent Colossus, and a group challenge boss known as the Vindicators. Don't start dreading yet. This is actually an easier grind than you would think. Experienced dungeon delvers will know the trick to this place. But let me tell you about a simple loop that'll make this grind just a little bit easier. Here, take a look at this. Let's go ahead and make our way to the starting point of this loop. You'll follow the path until you get past the bony boys and the ghosts. Then you'll want to take the first left that you come to and go around the corner. After this corner, you'll want to take that immediate left and go into this chamber right here. This is where we're going to start. Look up those stairs to your left and you'll see the first boss, the Forgotten Sheriff. After you've called in that 1053 for the sheriff, go ahead and head out of the chamber and take that right. When you round the corner, you'll see Faerun right there in front of his books. Go ahead and send him right back to his ancestors. Once you've dispatched him, you want to go ahead and head on down the stairs and head into this crypt. If you head to the back corner, you'll see Timothy the Sharp. When you're done here, you want to go up the stairs and take that left and come back to where you came from. Go through the sheriff's chamber and then go ahead and take that first left that you come to, and you'll open up to a big area. That's where you'll see the Silent Colossus. After you're done here, you want to head on back to the sheriff's chamber. If you're moving at a steady pace, you'll see that they'll be responding when you get back to the locations when you go through the loop again.
Aren't you forgetting one?
I left the Vindicators out, and here's why. You'll notice that the Vindicators are way down here at the bottom of the map. Not only are they this far out of the way, but you also have to clear out the Quama on the left and the right of them just for them to even appear. I personally don't think it's worth the effort going down there just to grab up one extra boss. Now that we've had our fill of this place, let's go ahead and head on to our next destination, which is right over here at...
Your friend smells of cinnamon. Truly, she is a woman of undeniably good taste.
I know what you're doing down here. I can't believe you eat on people. Besides, I'm not dessert. Those are Raynar's sweet rolls in my bag, and I will not share.
We do what we must, outsider.
Well, questionable sacks of meat aside, let's go ahead and head on over to Blackwood. We're going to go ahead and make our way to one of the 2 public dungeons in this area, Zenithar Abbey. This is where we're going to scavenge the glass skeletal Visage. Just like our last location, the lead can drop from any of the bosses found within this public dungeon. Unlike our last location, there's no clever little loop to help you out with getting this quicker. Let me go ahead and give you a quick rundown of where the bosses are at. Let's go ahead and start right here in this main area. You can travel to this location on the map and find 2 ogres, Uthar Meatwise and Gropnar the Crusher. Then, if you look over here in this upper part of the map inside an area called the Grounds, you can find a troll named Gloomtooth mucking about in a cave. You can find that cave right here. On the opposite side of the map within the trade port, if you go right over here, you'll find the 3rd boss, the Frigid Temptress. After you've promptly received your cold shoulder from her, you can go all the way to the back within the bazaar. You'll want to go right over here and you'll find another boss, Fulcinius the Bone Miser. While you're still here in the bazaar, you can travel right over here and you'll find the final boss within the black market, Rabak the Trapmaster. Just be sure to bring a friend or two when you visit this little tourist trap, as she will have you paying your weight in soul gems if you're not prepared. Speaking of being prepared, I hope you know of some patient adventurers that like running dungeons, because you're going to need them for this next one. Let's go ahead and make our way on back to Shadowfen. The dungeon that we're looking for is the Cradle of Shadows, and it's located right about here on the map. This is where we're going to struggle to find the ritual circlet.
You know, Robert, when you called me in here to help you get the lead from this final boss, you said you needed someone who could take a hit. You said nothing about me taking all the hits. I demand extra compensation for this.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. There'll be plenty of gold after you sell off all the gear from running this several times. Plus, the job is super easy. All you gotta do is shank an enemy and hold up a shield. It's as easy as that.
See what I'm dealing with? He just sees us as nothing but glorified meat shields.
As mentioned a moment ago, this lead drops from the final boss. So all you need to do is go in, travel to, and beat down Veladrith till it decides to give you the lead. After you take the time to enjoy a well-deserved victory fanfare, you'll be ready to move on to the last lead. This last lead is rather unique among all the other leads, as there are many different locations you can actually pick this one up from, which for me was Vardenfell, all the way up in Vivek City. This is where I found the preserved Wraxu feathers. All I had to do to acquire this lead was make my way to the Outlaw's Refuge. Once inside, I just had to go down the ramp at the entrance and look off to the right. An NPC named Remain Silent was sitting there waiting. When you talk to this Argonian in a few words, you can ask her one of three things. The question you're interested in asking is, have any equipment today? When you do that, she ends up giving you a random piece of Sithis' touch. And if you're especially lucky that day, you'll also get the lead.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean? Are you telling me that this is purely based on RNG? And what in the world are you talking about? There's no one there.
Yep, this is pure, unadulterated RNG. And if you can't see her, you must not have unlocked the Shadowy Supplier from the Dark Brotherhood skill line. This is a passive ability that becomes available when you level the skill line up to level 4. And once you invest a point into it, you'll be able to gain access to Remain Silent from any of the Outlaw's Refuge, as well as some other areas like the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. Now, if you're looking to unlock the Dark Brotherhood skill line, you need to be able to access the Gold Coast. This is, unfortunately, a DLC area, so you'll either need to purchase it from the Crown Store or get ESO Plus for a month, as doing that will unlock all other DLCs that you don't already have available. When you finally do get access, it's just as simple as making your way on down to a little town called Anvil. From the Anvil Way Shrine, you want to go ahead and head towards the water, and you want to go straight down these docks right here.
Next round. Come on, Lucky 7.
That all counts. When you get to the end of these docks, you'll see Emily Crow, and she's going to hand you a quest called Voices in the Dark. By the end of this quest, you will have unlocked the Dark Brotherhood skill line, and you will have gained a useful new tool to send people to the Dreadfather with. Man, you didn't hesitate for a moment.
Well, of course I didn't. You have to have resolve to get into the Malrong Tong.
When you finally do manage to collect all the leads, you're going to dig them all up in Blackwood. And as always, when you dig up that last lead, you'll have the item right in your inventory.
How on earth did that get there? Are you seeing this? Is it just me?
The Gaze of Sithis is a rather useful heavy helmet. This one-piece set gives you a rather significant boost to both health and health recovery, as well as giving you an additional 4,000 in armor. Before you get too excited, remember this is a mythic item and it has a negative to it. And this one reduces your block mitigation to 0, so I'd be careful about using it in PvE content.
This is just the piece I needed to finish up my PvP gear. I'd say if you used it right, you wouldn't need to block in Cyrodiil anyways.
No, that sounds about right. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense, and this armor definitely helps with taking those beatings. Alright, enough talk. Get out there and fast track your foes to the loving embrace of the void. That wraps up another guide. We really appreciate hanging out with us until the end. It really helps us out more than you know. If there's anything else you'd like seen covered in our particular style, leave it for us down there in the comments down below. While you're there, consider giving us a like if you found this guide helpful. If you want to show support for the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button and be sure to ring that bell for notifications so you will hopefully be notified when we release new content. Speaking of content, if you want more guides or you want to see what games we enjoy between our ESO videos, we have playlists of that stuff right over there. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a bank full of maps and surveys that need to be gone through. We hope to see you in the next one.